Mo Salah decided to start scoring goals again.
My G, lad. My G, Mo Salah. Mohamed Salah, bruv. Say his name properly, Rants, if you're going to say it.
What the hell
Mohamed
happened?
Salah.
What the hell happened? What happened?
Lad, the Egyptian king came back for one time only.
Rangers were selling, yeah, they were selling, but do you know what I mean? Like, do you think he will turn a corner now? Because he needed the confidence, to be honest, because he's been horrific.
I agree. He came off the bench. He played inside right forward. He scored some decent goals. I thought the goalkeeper was clearly a pensioner. But listen, lads, he went out and got a hat-trick, which he got it in the quickest time. No player's ever done that in history. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, like quickest time in the Champions League. Belter, lads, belter performance. I don't think he's going to get back to his best, but I'm never going to complain about a hat-trick. And he's on 9 goals this season. I still think it's important that we replace him in the short term and bring in someone else, kind of like the way City do with all their players. So when they're thinking about letting go Raheem Sterling, they're going to bring in a Jack Grealish. I still think Salah can add 9 to 20 goals in all competitions because he's already on 9 already. However, I don't think... I don't want the idea being, okay, he scored a hat-trick, he might score a few in the next couple of games. Oh yeah, let's see what goes down and let's make him our starting right winger again. I think you can rotate Salah. He signed that new contract for two seasons, I believe. It might have been 3. Either way, for that duration, as we're not going to be able to get rid of him because no one else is going to be willing to pay those wages for Salah. Even if it's past his best, it's still someone who can contribute off the bench. It improves the squad depth. And hopefully,
but do you really rotate a player that's on that kind of money? This is the thing, though.
I think that's what we should do. It's different what FSG will do. It depends what you want me to say. Yeah, you know what I mean. Because you asked me before what I think.
Well, then tell me what you think, and then tell me what you think the club's gonna do.
So I just told you what I think. I think we should rotate him and bring in someone for the long term. So when Salah's out of form, you can put him in the team, kind of like the way City do at Riyad Mahrez and stuff. City are the best case study at the moment, and even other teams of the past, like when Chelsea had stacked squad depth, could bring on a player for a player when they were at their best under Jose Mourinho. What I think the club will do is persist to keep Mohamed Salah the way he is, and unless he has a below par season statistically, I think he's probably just going to be our right winger for the next season. So the rest of this season and then probably next season as well. If he's continuing to put up these same level of performances, because even someone as unintelligent as FSG, I don't know. I still think I still think that they're probably really hoping that he's going to come back and score goals the same way that usually give Ronaldo chances. But again, even Ronaldo, no matter how many goals he got, he weren't contributing to the overall team. That was eventually realised, and hopefully soon Salah won't have that same influence, because I think we're heavily banking on him coming back, firing form, getting goals week in, week out, and I don't think he's going to be that type of player no more. But I do think he can still contribute off the bench and possibly get a goal. I just think it's going to take longer for the manager and the owners to realise that.
Fairs. Would you make of this comment here?
Let's have a gander. Me eyesight shit, lad. Salah is definitely not happy.
Not happy with Nunes in the team. As soon as he went off, he scored. We spoke about the balance before. Do you think it can work?
It makes no sense having 2 out. Nah, it makes no sense having 2 outlets in the team. None of them are creative. None of them are amazing technically. However, what they can do is get in behind and get a goal. So Salah's best goals have came off the inside right forward. And then you've got Darwin Núñez as well, who, like, let's be honest, he's just as good. He's only really good against high lines. He struggles to break down defences who are sitting everyone behind the back. And that's why he got 2 goals against us in the Champions League last year. And everyone got off the high horse. No, it was a great finish, but Bobby Firmino put it on a plate for him.
Oh, of course, it was on a plate with cutlery, mate.
It was a belter.
Though, for the goal was decent. I have to give him credit for that, because he peeled off the player very well.
That's the main part of his game, and this is why I've always said the best you get out of Núñez is 20 goals in all competitions when the whole team's playing well and providing him with chances. That's the prime example. I don't think he's that good of a player, but look at Haaland. I don't think he'll ever get the volume of Haaland, but Haaland doesn't contribute overall immensely to his team. But he'll get a few touches and he'll get a few goals, and because everyone else is doing their job and singing off the same hymn sheet, Haaland will just bag goals for days, bro, and that's why it's so successful. It could have been the same thing for us if everyone else was still on their levels, but we haven't been on the same levels. We haven't invested over the years, and that's why we're in the position that we are now. And you see in both Núñez and Salah score, but I think the worst thing that Klopp can do is try and make Salah a creative outlet, because he might get the odd assist. I think he's trying something. I don't think that means he's going to stick with that decision. All managers have tried mad faulty things before in the past, And I just think now he's going to be coming to the realisation, might have already came to it, that Salah just isn't going to thrive in that role. And I think the former Bobby Firmino, Rants, is just being overlooked massively. Why are we still persistent to bring in, to play week in, week out, someone like Darwin Núñez, when you've already got an outlet in Salah who's proven he can get more goals and benefit and get more goals when he's playing with Bobby Firmino? Bobby Firmino has now got 12 goal contributions in 12 games. I'm not trying to say he's like the greatest of all time, because context doesn't make those goal contributions look as good. But what does look good is his performances. What does look good is how much he's working for the team. Two things that not many people have been doing recently. So my ideal world is Firmino playing week in, week out. Use Núñez for the long term. Once Salah's finished, get him off the pitch. Use a more creative outlet on the right, and then play Núñez in the middle when also Bobby's finished. Don't know if you agree with me there.
I do, but you know what? I feel like the manager has kind of moved on in his head from Firmino, if that makes sense. I don't know if Firmino had injury problems. I feel like he did, didn't he? He had like some spells where he was injured, where the manager wasn't playing him. So what? The manager dropped him because there was a long spell where he was out of contention. And what happened?
So basically, I can't remember a significant long injury for Firmino. Obviously, he's had his niggles here and there, and little tiny things popping up and whatnot. But what I will say is that Firmino, when Jota came in, Firmino played the first couple of games of that season. It looked like we were trying to get Jota off the bench and settle him into the team. Firmino then gets taken out. Jota starts bagging, and we're winning football matches week in, week out, and we're still playing really well overall. So, yeah, Firmino contributes to our overall play, especially in a time like right now. But because everyone else at that point was so on their game, the midfield winning battles, the defence being compact and composed, the attack finishing their chances and creating the volume of chances, we didn't actually need Bobby, and we had an extra goal threat in Diogo Jota, who had 20 goals by January last season. Like, I think that's what stopped Firmino from playing. I think now that circumstances have changed, let me know if you disagree, but I think it could make Klopp sit there and reassess, or do you know what, maybe in the short term, Bobby could be more than the solution for us, because we're not in the same circumstances now where everyone's playing well like what we was before, and we've got to make do with what we've got.
So I'm just trying to balance this though. So what do you think is because Mane's left? Because when you look at
what's because Mane's left?
The balance of your attack, because you could play without Firmino, with Jota and Salah, and now it seems like you can't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait there. So without, sorry. Are you saying
without Mane balancing the team?
Yeah.
You can't play without Firmino. Do you understand?
Good, really good shout. Now that Luis Diaz is here, saying he was fit,
he has
he's out till after the World Cup.
But definitely, he has strengths to Mane.
100%. He's not like as physical, and he does get beat and stuff like that. And also he's quite. Something that he needs to work on is just not be as like rational and just so forward thinking, like be a little bit more reserved, take it a bit more time to think, because that's what Mane would do. Mane just like hold off a player and just think about what he's going to do next. And that's what I appreciated about Mane, because I think he had a certain level of football and intelligence, which was higher than what else we could have got. Luis Diaz needs to improve on that. Thankfully, that's a mental side of his game, so I think that can be somewhat improved, only to a certain degree, with a different manager. However, I still think Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota and Salah could still be successful, but we need the midfield to be creating those chances for the attack, and we need the build-up play from the back line to be effective. Otherwise, we're not going to get that.
You traditionally don't have a 10, though. This is the problem. If you don't have a creator in midfield, you need a creator amongst your attacking line. And Jota, Diaz, Salah, Núñez, none of them are creative. The most creative player out of all of them is Diaz. Do you know what I'm saying? He's the most creative, and he's not.
So really right now it wouldn't work. Yeah. So right now,
Firmino has to be your creative. He has to be your creative outlet.